Today, I'm going to be talking about Train to Busan, one of my favorite Korean films. Also, apologies in advance for any mispronunciation of names. Greetings and welcome to my channel, JJP Horror, Sci-Fi and Fantasy Corner. I'm your host, JJP. In September, my family and I were fortunate enough to be able to visit South Korea on what was the biggest holiday of our lives. Whilst there, we boarded the KTX 121 to Busan from Seoul Central. Unlike the unfortunate protagonist of the film, we made it to Busan zombie-free. The train to Busan. That's right. Zombies? No zombies. We're talking about zombies. Here we are on the train to Busan. Train to Busan, in my opinion, is an example of Korean cinema at its best. Let me know in the comments below if you have a personal favorite Korean film. And now for a bit of trivia. Which film in the MCU does Ma Dong-seok, or Don Lee, as he is also known as, appear in? Stay tuned to the end to find out. Spoilers ahead, just in case you haven't gotten round to watching it yet. Train to Busan was released in 2016 and was directed by Yoon Sang-ho and written by Park Juk-suk and Yoon Sang-ho, with cinematography by Hyun Duke Lee and music composed by Young Gyu Jang. From the very beginning, we see that things are not right when a deer which has been killed by a truck gets itself up looking all zombified with its milky eyes. The film then introduces us to the main protagonist, Seok Woo, played by Gong Yoo, who plays a man who is seemingly more dedicated to his job than his family. His marriage has fallen apart, and he lives with his mother and his daughter, who is played by Kim Swan. He's not the greatest father. He misses her school events and pays little attention to her in general. After receiving a duplicate birthday present from her dad, she asks if she can visit her mother in Busan. After much resistance, Seok Woo relents and agrees to take her. As they make their way to the train station, we can see more hints that things are not right. At the station, as the train is about to depart, a female straggler jumps on. She has clearly been bitten and will become the catalyst that will set things off on the train. There, we also meet Sang-hwa, played by Ma Dong-seok, who plays a tough guy with a soft heart, and his pregnant wife, Seung-kyung, played by Jung Yumi, who is very sassy. They are both very charismatic and likable characters. We also meet Young-guk, played by Choi Woo-sik, who some may recognize from Parasite, which would be released 3 years later in 2019. For those of you who watch K-dramas, you may recognize the train driver or captain of the KTX as he is credited, Jung Suk-young. Then we meet the real villain of the film, Yoon-suk, played deliciously by Kim Yoo-sung. And believe me, you really get to hate this guy. He's a real piece of shit. As the film progresses, we get to know and care for some of these characters and don't want anything bad to happen to them. Of course, we do indeed lose some of these characters as the infected tear through the train, killing anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. The director knows how to keep the audience on their toes. He injects the right amount of terror, suspense, action, and even some comedic moments which are done through character interactions. However, he never lets us forget that we are dealing with humans and highlights their flaws which at times makes them worse than the infected. But he also shines a light on the best traits of humanity, with those willing to stand up for what's right, regardless of the horror surrounding them, and even at the cost of their very lives. Train to Busan is a film I loved from the moment I got to see it. My one regret being that I didn't get to watch it on a big screen. It tells a good story with some great characters, many of which you mourn as they succumb to the infected. The death of one character really hits hard when they die, as you know there was no reason for them to die if it hadn't been for others' stupidity and ignorance. And that tense moment towards the end of the film at the tunnel, where the soldiers are aiming their rifles and are ready to shoot the only survivors left from the train, thinking that they are the infected. You get that horrible feeling that they are about to suffer the same fate as Ben, played by Dwayne Jones in George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. If you've watched it, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. Do the soldiers fire? I won't spoil that here. If you don't mind reading subtitles, I highly recommend watching Train to Busan. My journey on a train to Busan was not as eventful, thank goodness. I arrived in Busan on a glorious, hot and sunny day. And yes, my legs could certainly do with a bit more sunshine. Now, to answer the trivia question. The MCU film that Ma Dong-seok, or Don Lee as he is credited, is The Eternals, where he played Gilgamesh. He also stars in the Roundup films, which are action-packed and a lot of fun to watch. Do check them out if you get the chance. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. I have been JJP, and I look forward to discussing films and shows that we are all passionate about. Hope to see you soon.